Hey there, everybody. Mrs. Ettinger here. I'm going to show you and introduce your Unit 2 vocabulary words for this week. So you are getting them today on Tuesday, September 8th. So that means that your test for your Unit 2 words will be next Tuesday. So next Tuesday will be your test. So I'm going to show you, I just want to remind you, I know some of you are having a hard time saying you can't get into the vocab program and so forth and things like that. So I just want to kind of show you. You always need to go to the class link. I want you to take a look up here. If you look at this search engine or this search bar right here, it should always say launchpad.classlink.com/seals. If your web link does not say that, you're not going to get where you need to be. You also want to notice that there is a Selinsgrove seal right down here in the corner. So please keep that in mind. You probably won't get into the vocab program if you don't have the right class link up. Okay, so once you go ahead and sign into class link, you'll get all your apps. Remember to get to your vocab, it's Sadlier. So you need to go to Sadlier. Once you get into Sadlier, you are the orange book. So you're going to select the orange book and you're going to come right over here to where it says Unit 2. Now, for my in-class students, I always do introducing the words. So I will always read that, or play that out loud. I highly recommend you listen to that story and it will play it right here for you. That's just a great way to hear the words in context. To get back, all you need to do is just hit this back button. So you always want to make sure on this sidebar you're in the correct unit, right? So Unit 2. So let's take a look at your definitions. So the first word that you have is annual. Okay, so you can see first word right here, annual. So annual is an adjective. It means coming each year, once a year, lasting a year. And you want to go ahead once you click on definitions and you want to type in your answers here. So you want to say the annual class picnic will be the last day of school. Okay, so you want to continue to fill out the sentences as we go through those. It can also be a noun. It's a book or a magazine that comes out once a year, a plant that lives or lasts for just one growing season. So if you ever go to a garden center or anything like that, whoever you're with might ask for annuals. So they're talking about flowers that last for 1 year, for one growing season, I should say. One of my poems will appear in the 2011 Poetry Annual. Your next word is basic. It means having to do with the main or starting point of something. We understand the basic idea of the game. Okay, as an adjective, and then it can also be a noun, but it's usually plural. So they want you to say basics. Plural means adding an S. Key elements are parts. I learned the basics. You wouldn't say basic. I learned the basic of addition. I learned the basics of addition in first grade. Competition. Competition is trying to outdo others. It's a game or a contest. I am planning to enter a kite flying competition. Contract or contract. So you have a noun or a verb here. For a contract, if you're signing like a document, so it's contract, that's a thing. An agreement or understanding that can be enforced by law, a document that explains legal conditions. Many people who buy computers also buy a service contract. So you can see here it looks a little bit different. Look at how you're supposed to say one of these words in comparison to the other. It's the same word, but the way that you say it is differently. So this one is contract. This one, you're supposed to say it faster up front. Contract. Okay, so as a verb. To make or grow smaller, to come down as a sickness. Some soft woods contract when they dry. So they kind of shrivel up, they shrink. Dismiss. Dismiss means to send away or permit to leave, to remove from a job, to stop thinking about. Our teacher will not dismiss the class until we are all quiet. Neglect. To hold back care or attention, to fail to follow through. Don't neglect your homework. Neglect as a verb and a noun are said the same way, unlike contract. So neglect as a noun, a steady lack of care due to carelessness or laziness. Our rose garden suffers from neglect. So that means nobody's taking care of it. It's suffering from neglect. Obtain. Obtain means to get or to gain through some effort. Customers can obtain rare coins in that shop. means to get. Portion, a section or piece, part of the whole, a serving of food. I'll have a small portion of soup. So a part, a share, helping. Recall, to bring back to mind, to ask to return. We recall our first vacation. And so this is said a little bit different. Recall is the verb. Recall is the noun. I had no recall of the story. Sponsor. Sponsor is one who helps or takes responsibility for another person or group, person or a business that pays for an ad on radio or television. Some of you play on sports teams, or you're in a band, or chorus or something like that, and at some point you might need sponsors to help pay for the things that you need to do, or for uniforms, for outfits, things like that. A generous sponsor paid for the new band uniforms. As a verb, it means to act as a sponsor to a group, person, or event. Many businesses sponsor the Special Olympics. Stern. Stern as an adjective means not kind or gentle, kind of harsh looking. The officer gave them a stern warning. You can say that somebody also might have, like, if they look at you with a stern face, they're probably not happy with you, or they're very serious. The stern as a noun is the back end of a boat. So you can climb the ladder in the stern. Vacant. Vacant means not used, filled, or lived in, without thought or expression. So you'll see on hotels, sometimes it'll say no vacancy, or it will say vacant, like vacancy. If it's not vacant, if there's no vacancy, that means all the rooms are booked up. This bus has no more vacant seats, so there are no more empty seats. Okay, I'm going to show you just very quickly before you hop off here, so please stay with me. Again, you can always play review games. If you go back out to Unit 2, you just go to you go to like additional practice right here. You can do a practice quiz. You can do things like that. And if you come down here to student resources, you can play all those different games. I do want to show you something that might be helpful to you if you're at home. So let's say, for instance, I assign you at some point word associations. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let's say at some point I assign you word associations. Let's say, okay, you got to take care of that. A lot of students don't realize that if they need to see their definition, all they have to do is click on word list. Okay. So if you're like thinking I need to answer these questions and I don't have my definitions right here, word list. That's all you need to do. Click on word list. Okay. So that word list is always available if you ever get work assigned to you. So I just wanted to show you that. All right. Good to go.